ordered off of AliExpress. This took about a week and a half, 2 weeks to come in. So let's get her opened and see what we got.
Huh?
It's so pretty.
This looks brand new. I genuinely thought that this was going to come in used. The camera that I use is not the highest quality. As I'm not a full-time creator, I can't really afford to go out and buy some great cameras. So, right off the bat, this is loose in the package. This just looks like a UK plug adapter. This is the Lenovo Legion tab. In the Americas, we get this tablet marketed as the Legion tab. In China, this is the Y700. Now, the Legion tab is the same as the Y700 Gen 3. They're now on the Y700 Gen 4. So this one's a Gen 3. It has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in it, whereas the Generation 4 comes with the Snapdragon Elite X. So, let's get it opened. Now, I'm not too sure how easy it is to just get Lenovo stickers and reseal this, but this does genuinely look like brand new. Now, I did order the white one, just because I like white devices, other than the Asus first impressions. This is a very, very nice size for a tablet. And I mean, like, this feels incredibly premium. I believe this back is plastic, though. Volume and power button feel plastic as well. See what else comes in the box before we start it up. So we have a user manual, and whatever this is. And again, not in English, which is to be expected. It's not an English device. So we do get a USB-C to USB-C wire. I have tons of these, so I tend not to use them. Oh, very nice. And it actually comes with a charging block. This has some heft to it. My goodness. 92 grams. This is almost the same weight as the Razer Kishi V2. Look at this. 124, 93. 68.2 watts max. Now, just looking around, we have a speaker grill on top. This camera is horrible. USB-C on the bottom. Sorry, this is the bottom, not the top. We have another speaker grill on the top. Another USB-C on the bottom. So that'll be great when gaming. You can charge it from the bottom when this is covered. Or if you're using a wired controller, you can have it both wired and charging at the same time. That is phenomenal. You have a power button up top. You have volume rocker. Can't really see it because of the washout and the white. There you go. Volume rocker, power button. And then up here looks like that's where your Wi-Fi antenna are. It's hard to... I can't get it to focus properly. Let's get it turned on. Let's go into settings. The first thing that we're going to do is find keyboard and get rid of this Chinese keyboard. Oops. So we just disabled the Sogu keyboard. Now it types normally. So what you want to do is just go to on-screen keyboard there and just disable this Soju. I don't know how to pronounce it. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. Now another thing, because this is a Chinese UI, it doesn't automatically come with Google on it. So we do have to go to Google Basic Services and just check it on. Know how to read, obviously, so we're going to see if there's an update, because I do know that a certain version of the Chinese UI is a lot easier to use. Okay, to start off, let's start getting rid of some of these apps that are not in English. Next, let's double check these folders. Okay. We'll call this utilities, garbage. Okay. Now, of course, though, we need a screen protector, and I am terrible at putting these on. So let's just see me fail at this. Got a nice no-namium glass screen protector. Came in this very nice cardboard book. I got this off Amazon. I think it was 15 bucks for 2 of them. This is why I like it when they give me two of them, because I always screw up the first one. And there we go. This is very smudgy, but it's on there without any air bubbles. So, seeing as I ruined this one, let's test if this is actually glass. Ooh, it is glass. Okay. Now I did forget a couple of things while I was recording this. First off, once you have the Play Store downloaded, go and download Google Chrome, because the internet browser that comes on it is a pain in the butt to try to get into English, and even once you do get it into English, it's not 100% English. Second, I forgot to give you guys the specs of this tablet. So, here's the specs. As the dog's all go nuts. I did forget to mention the battery life on this tablet is not exactly phenomenal. It's not bad. I'll be 100% honest. It's not bad. But it kind of has the same issue that all the other handheld gaming systems have, is it only lasts about an hour and a half to 2 hours tops before you need to go find a plug-in. So bear that in mind. I just forgot to comment on it. Okay, guys, I have been playing with the Lenovo Y700 3rd gen for about a week now. No, a little bit under a week, about 4 or 5 days. So it's time to give my honest opinion now. First off, this screen is incredibly bright. I have found that I often don't even notice that the brightness is set all the way to nothing, which is crazy. Mind you, I use it mostly inside. Now, I have sat in front of a window a couple of times. I do find that the automatic brightness is not very responsive, but it's very easy to just pull down the screen and increase brightness just like that. Now, another thing that I find is that when I'm gaming, that's about the brightness that I'm sitting at. Again, it is a gaming tablet. That is what you're going to be spending the majority of the time using this. Unless for some odd reason you want to buy an 8-inch tablet for media consumption, which doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense to me. I have scrolled through other apps as well. I do just use this as an Android tablet for a little bit, but for the most part, I'm just gaming on it. I have tried a bunch of just stock Android games, and I have not found an issue with any of them. They all run great. The majority of what I've been playing is Call of Duty Warzone, which was literally taken off of the Play Store because of how poorly optimized it is for different processors and GPUs, and this tablet handles it great. I play about an hour to an hour and a half sessions, and I don't have any stability issues. I do play with a controller. That's one gripe with me between Warzone and Call of Duty Mobile, is Warzone Mobile supports any controller. Whereas Call of Duty Mobile, they have to be an Xbox or a PS4 or a Backbone. It's a pain in the butt. Destiny Rising plays great. Soul Huntress, absolutely phenomenal. Genshin Impact, awesome. Basically, all the other games that I play on here, I mean, they can run on much older Android hardware than this, so it works great. I have not tried playing screen mirroring or however that works with the Xbox app playing off of your computer. I'm just not a big fan of the latency, so I can't really comment on that. Emulation. As you can see, there are two emulators on here that I'm not going to comment on what console they're emulating. I just love tapping my screen, you know? However, they work phenomenally. The older of the two, I find very little hiccups. There are some games that don't load that well, but that's more of a software issue. The other one does require a little bit of playing around with drivers and whatnot. There are other videos to figure that part out. I'm not going to go too in-depth on that. However, it does work great. I have no complaints whatsoever. PS2, no problems. I play most games at 3 times render scale and 2% on others. Of course, every ROM on here I personally own. These are just my backups. I did find that Chaos Legion was a little buggy above 2 times render scale, and even at 2 times render scale, you do still get a couple of screen drops. So you can hear right now it's kind of slowed down a little bit, and then it picks back up. It might just be software issue, but also there are a lot of sprites loading in. This is essentially a horde hacker slasher. So it could also be hardware related. Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 played absolutely phenomenal. So overall, really happy with the emulation on this. And of course, if it's playing, you know, PS2 emulation, fine. It'll play anything older than that, absolutely no problem. Especially the company that dislikes emulation. Now, as far as flashing to the global ROM, me personally, I would not recommend doing it. I will show you a couple of issues with the Chinese ROM, but really, they're so unnoticeable that it is not worth the risk of losing Widevine Level 1 as well as over-the-air updates. Now, the first issue that you're going to find, when you swipe up to search, you are still getting Chinese recommendations. I don't use that search bar at all, because for starters, it's a pain in the butt to get to load in. And to be honest, these might clear up as they go. Watching videos, I mean, it's an 8.4 inch screen. I don't find that media consumption is that great, and it's really not the prime focus of this console. Now, I do find that because it's such a small tablet, just about any controller that you can throw at this works with it. That is the controller is specifically designed for larger screens. Something like a Razer Kishi just does not fit. Of course, you could flip it around, and with it having the side USB, you could use it like that for dual screen emulation, having a screen both at the top and the bottom. And I mean, if you're going real crazy and want to play like a complete strange person, you're perfectly capable of playing sideways. But now another issue that this tablet has, the normal file explorer does not want to come out of Chinese. Couldn't tell you why. That's how it wants to be. The rear-facing camera is actually very surprisingly good on this tablet. Front facing, I mean, leaves some to be desired, but it's still really not bad. Again, though, nobody's buying a tablet for the camera. I personally have not found any compatibility issues with Wi-Fi compared to other tablets. That being said, I have read on forums that your results may vary. My personal experience has been that there's no issues that I've found. Now, my biggest thing on this tablet that I would absolutely love is if they were to put an LTE or 5G modem in one of these, because I would genuinely run this tablet as a phone. I mean, my normal phone really isn't that much smaller, and I'd much rather have the larger display. Does it fit in my pocket? Not the greatest, but kind of. And considering that I am not a teenager anymore, I don't need to have this thing in my pocket 24/7. A lot of the times I take it out of my pocket and I put it down. Now, once you put a bulky case on like what I have on my phone, yeah, it's going to make it a little less portable. However, I would probably just run a slim case anyways. And I mean, I can genuinely one-hand this thing. Like, it's not an issue at all. I could scroll through my TikTok feeds. I could go through Facebook Marketplace, no problem, just like this. So I would genuinely like to see a generation of this where it has a 5G modem. Would I recommend buying the Chinese Y700 3rd gen over the Legion Tab? Right now, the Legion Tab is on sale for 589 Canadian dollars. And I paid $401.38. So I saved $250. And this has the exact same processor as the Legion Tab. The Legion Tab is a rebranded Y700 3rd gen. The Y700 is already up to the 4th gen, hence why these are already on great discounts. I personally like the white. From what I see, you cannot get the white in the Legion Tab. And all Legion Tab accessories fit perfectly fine. I see absolutely no downsides to buying this over the Legion Tab, other than the stupid little file. So when I was originally researching what tablet I wanted to buy, I kind of had my heart set on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which is what this tablet has. There is a version with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, and there's a version with the Snapdragon 865, I believe. Everything online was telling me that it gets around a 2 million Antutu score. That's not the whole story, because your memory and this UX adds to your Antutu score. So the one that matters is the GPU and the CPU Antutu score. Okay, so as you can see, the CPU has a 418,000 score, and the GPU almost has a 745,000 score. This thing is phenomenal. Now, I get that there is the Snapdragon Elite out there, which I have not gotten my hands on and I haven't tested, so I can't comment on whether they're comparable, whether you should go out and buy that because it wipes the water with this one. This performs far more adequately than what I need. Just look at how nice this screen is. Wink, wink. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I apologize about not having more automotive content. Unfortunately, the parts just didn't come in for anything that I have on the go right now. So, hopefully, my next video, we will have that coming up. And otherwise, I love y'all. Y'all beautiful. I hope you have a great day. Okay, bye.